Welcome back, everybody, to episode 73 of the Movie ReBrew podcast. I'm your host, Keegan Holland, and with me is my co-host, Mike Jennison.
Hello, friends.
You're just going to steal Jim Nance's thing now, huh?
The Masters would have been on this week.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. Joining us is our international United Kingdom Scotland correspondent, Liam Garven.
Going on, fellas? It's been a long time. You guys know how long it's been?
Since the missed Detective Pikachu pod.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons I wanted to bring you back on, because this is such a similar video. Jesus, what are you doing, Mike? Similar video game, cute character, and I have a lot of things to comment about both. So I wanted Liam to come on for this. But before that, Liam, how is Scotland holding up and how are you holding up in the coronavirus?
I mean, the same restrictions are basically in place here as there are in, at least Ohio. There's a state allowed one outside visit per day, and everything is closed. We've been off classes since mid-March at this point. I mean, the raw numbers aren't as high as the U.S. just because there's less people, but we're still approaching 100,000 cases. Yeah,
the UK is rapidly becoming one of the worst in Europe, and Europe has been hit extremely hard. But is that mostly England and London, or is it getting up to the north where you are?
I actually don't know. Hold on.
What city are you in?
I am in Edinburgh. I'm in the capital, and so it's the second biggest city in Scotland behind Glasgow. And I feel like it's mostly in England, but I actually don't know. I don't know if they divided. Yeah. This says only these are new cases. I don't know, just because it is all one sovereign nation, so they don't really split it up on most of the statistics that they provide, and because the health system, the NHS is it's for the entire nation, so we don't really. I'm sure you could find some stats, but most of what's presented is as just the UK.
Yeah. Well, we're drinking beers to fight off the virus. I've had this on the show before, I know for a fact, but I'm drinking Market Garden's Shandy. It's probably my favorite beer. And
you got it back. I was really sad you weren't able to drink it this year.
I know. That's why I came back. Liam, what are you drinking?
I am drinking this Rheinbacher Pilsner, which was the cheapest thing at Aldi. I think it was $1.25 for this
That's huge
bottle. Yeah. And I was just at Aldi yesterday, and this was the one. I didn't even think about it for the pod. I was literally just I guess I'm gonna have just one beer this week at some given time.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, it's
very European-looking beer
for a very European-looking man.
Oh yeah, Lima's a Mohawk, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And I'm drinking Southern Tier IPA.
I love Southern Tier. How's their IPA?
Really good. I don't think I've ever had exactly the Southern Tier IPA. But
Me either.
This is good. It tastes like I compare it to Bell's Two Hearted, a little less hoppier, but very good. That's high praise.
Yeah, that's very good. This is one of the easiest movies we could have tied something in. Blue Moon, Fast,
Washington,
Hedgehog,
The Shoots.
Rings. What would the Shoots be?
The Shoots is Washington, right? Or is that Oregon?
Oh yeah, the location. Yeah. This would have been really easy. But
it's in Montana. What are you talking about?
Is it Montana?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And then San Francisco.
Yeah.
So you could have done a lot of stuff to tie in, but in these unprecedented times, Liam.
Is that what you picked on my?
That's
Twitter
what I voted
poll?
for.
I picked unprecedented too.
We couldn't really go out and buy beers willy-nilly.
It's become a thing where people it seems like people don't want to mention specifically what it is. You'll just get emails or see signs that are due to the unprecedented and untold nature of what's going on right now. And just say it. Just say the coronavirus outbreak, dude. I don't know if you're just trying to beat around the bush.
COVID-19, but
whatever, dude. You're correcting me.
You're in public health. This is big stuff for you.
I just wrote an essay on it. And it was literally and it was assigned in January, and so they're discuss the coronavirus outbreak currently happening in China, and it's this is a little bit outdated.
Yeah, holy shit.
And I emailed my professor. I'm can I just write about the world now? And they're just no, just write about it in China. Okay.
Oh,
I don't understand.
That's
And
disgusting.
but then they sent us an email that was like, I feel they're like, hey,
During these unprecedented times.
basically, because they gave us the option to just write it about like mumps if we wanted to. But I already finished my China coronavirus one.
Can you hear that?
No.
What is it?
I don't know. Oh my god. I don't even know. My basement's about to flood.
Is it?
No, but it just made some insane noises and shot up water. So, well, I guess maybe it is. I don't know.
Wait,
What do you mean?
shot up?
Yeah, the basement shot up water.
No, like there's like this pipe that goes into the ground and just like
It's leaking
And water. It's not leaking, but like it exploded with like a thing of water out of it. We're fine. We're fine. The weather is shit, though. I will say. I will do weather
Weather's
talk this
awful.
time.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Gray, cold, and raining. It sucks.
It's
Like, we're
like
in-
the same temperature where I am, but it's like sunny and all nice out.
That's
have
how it's
glass
been
windows, but
Recently.
oh, it's a nice day. I'm gonna keep my window open. Actually, it's a nice.
I wanna
day.
see
I
that
like my
face.
window open. I look like a ghost, so it's gonna get closed again.
Yeah, you're glowing. This was going to be a mini pod, but we're now 10 minutes in and haven't even gotten to the movie yet. But
Mini pod. What?
no news.
Mini pod.
Let's get into Sonic.
You can't handle the truth.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
So, I saw this when it came out on February 13th. I took my girl on a nice Valentine's Day night to see Sonic. I didn't, but it's been 2 months since I've seen it. Liam, you saw it today. Mike, you saw it last week. So you guys might need to carry me a bit here. Initial thoughts. Also, what were your expectations? I know a lot of controversy surrounding this one. What were your expectations going in?
Hey, Liam, you can take it. You're the guest.
Yeah, I thought it would be just like, I mean, I didn't expect it to be anything groundbreaking. I thought that it would probably be on par with Detective Pikachu, I would say, or basically just any kids movie. But I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think this movie fucking sucked. I thought this movie was bad.
I agree, but I'll pass it off to Mike because he's going to disagree with both of us.
So I went in kind of, and Liam, at our Pokemon pod, you kind of predicted exactly what Sonic was going to be about. For
Did
the most
I?
Part. I think so. At some point, you kind of predicted exactly what Sonic was going to be about.
There's
We've
literally,
been talking about this movie for like 3 years though.
yeah,
What do you say?
there's no evidence of that because that pod is long lost, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I'll take your word for it, Mike.
Thank you. But so going in, I kind of thought it was gonna be really stupid, and I was gonna just be rolling my eyes all the time. And it is really stupid, but I had a good time with it. I don't know if I was just dying for some form of entertainment because it had been like 2 weeks without being entertained at all, and this is kind of just like dumb child humor. But I love Sonic. I love those video games. He's super cute. You get kind of a classic Jim Carrey performance. It worked for me. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, I will say it is bad. It's really bad. But it is very Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura-esque performance. Like he's dialed back into his 90s self. I thought he was really good. But I mean, there's some
terrible.
really.
I did not. He made me laugh. I think maybe once or twice. And besides that, maybe I just don't like old Jim Carrey, honestly.
Oh, see, that's like so my bag. I love 90s Jim Carrey. Like when
I
he
thought
is
I
like
did.
skiing and shit. I don't know. He's so goofy and he just flails his body around. I love it.
His whole introduction where he's talking to the dude who's like a famous actor who's in it for like one scene.
Yeah.
But he's just talking about how much smarter he is than him, and he's like, I'm fucking better than him. I thought it was so fucking grating and not funny. And
I
it just
agree.
had a horrible tone.
Well,
Th-
I don't think
that
was
scene
supposed to be
wasn't
funny.
great.
I think you're meant to just hate the guy, which I think it did its job.
But this, for being a 20-year-old mascot that hasn't been really relevant in a very long time, this is so...
30.
Oh my god, you're right, 1991, holy shit. This is such a kid's movie with, like, nothing for adults, which is so weird to me.
Yeah.
I do think that's odd, as you brought up an interesting point, because are kids really that familiar with Sonic? I know we had like a TV show somewhere, like on Kids WB at some point in
Yeah,
the 2000s.
and, like,
I don't think that was popular at all, though.
he's in those Mario Olympic games every 4 years, but,
Yeah.
like, those
are
aren't,
probably
like,
the best selling
big sellers, yeah. So, yeah,
It's
to
been
have,
the last
like, to have
couple Smash
nothing...
Bros. It's been the last couple Smash Bros.
That's
So,
true.
I mean, we're not talking like huge franchise-defining games here,
Yeah.
At least
No.
where he's a star of.
Right. Yeah, but to have nothing for adults was insane. Like, even Jim Carrey was pretty kid-friendly.
There was one funny joke. Are we doing spoilers? I don't even like.
No, we'll get to spoilers soon.
Okay.
But don't you think getting Jim Carrey and having Sonic, it's just 90s nostalgia all over it? Don't you think that was kind of the point? People like 90s nostalgia. 30-year-olds like 90s nostalgia.
Yeah, but it wears off quickly when it's not funny.
Right.
Like,
That's fair. That's
And-
fair. But
I don't know. Let's just get to the story itself. We've talked about this before. This just feels like a template movie where they inserted
oh my
Sonic.
God, no,
Like,
dude.
the opening
So
is this
frustrating.
weird owl that we've never seen before that isn't from Sonic. Takes place in Montana and San Francisco, not Green Hill Zone. They even changed Green Hill Zone to Green Hills Zone. It's just, there's so little Sonic content in here. It just feels like a cookie cutter thing that they placed him in.
It is so fundamentally flawed when you make a Sonic movie and then just take him out. Dude, who the fuck wants to see this? I don't get it. It bothers me, and I'm sure this is why you wanted to make the connection to Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu, it exists in a world where Pokemon exists, and it's so much fucking better. Imagine how shit that movie would be if it was just like whatever the dude's name is, Justice Winslow finds like Pikachu in his
Justice
house.
Winslow.
Justice Winslow is a
Dude,
basketball
right?
player.
Is it Justice
but-
Smith? I think
Whatever
it's
his
Justice
name is.
Smith.
But like, imagine how much more shit that movie would be if a dude in just like fucking Kentucky is like, "What the fuck is this?" and he finds a Pikachu in his closet and it
Yeah.
talks. Like, no, like just set a Sonic movie in the world of Sonic. Also, Sonic clearly comes from what we know as the Green Hill Zone. Then why does he go to a place in Montana that is called Green Hills? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
And like,
I think that was just to be fun, I guess. They wanted just like a wink to the video game.
It's nothing though. That's nothing.
I don't want a wink to the video game. I want the video.
Yeah.
I don't need these little fucking hints that are like, "Hey, remember this?" It's like I want to see that.
The one hint to the game that was absolutely dynamite was John Baptiste's piano cover of Green Hill Zone theme
at the
the end. Oh,
Yeah.
so good. But it's like, not that the first three Sonic games are very story heavy. There's nothing. But is Dr. Robotnik after his power? Like, they're after my powers, like my universe changing powers. He keeps saying that, but like that's never been anything.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe he is. I don't know. Dr. Robotnik like turns fluffy animals into robots, and I just assumed that he was going for world destruction that way, and then Sonic was saving the day. That's how I always interpret it. Maybe he's going after Sonic's powers.
I don't know.
There's comic books. I assume that's fleshed out more in comic books.
No, but the Sonic story is now about getting those crystals and like becoming like Supersonic and shit. I can't remember his actual name,
It's
but
about harnessing the power of the Chaos Emeralds.
Chaos Emeralds. Here we go.
That's what he's not trying to fucking use Sonic as a battery. Like
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, this is such a weird direction to take it in. Also, how funny was the opening with the Sega trying to do its best Marvel impression? It's like,
Oh my God.
we're not getting a Golden Axe movie, people, okay? You don't need to, like, build up this cinematic universe in your title screen. Just embarrassing.
And fucking, I can't get over the pure premise of the movie. The fact that they just took it and was like, here's a CGI dog shit character in the real world. He also looks bad. I know that he looks better, but within the world of the movie, he is not convincing for a second. I don't think he looks good at all.
Well, he looks super cute, and I think that's the only thing you need.
It's probably because they had to change scale from the original design, and
Yeah.
things are probably just off.
But he looks super cute. Can't you guys admit that?
Yeah. Mike, see, this was going to be my question, because on the Detective Pikachu podcast, you both gave it, like, pretty decent scores. Mike, I think you had, like, an 8.2. Liam, I can't even remember what you gave it.
8.2? Hell yeah.
I
You
think
get-
I was like an 8.
Yeah, you guys gave it really high praise. But I think a lot of that came down to just you think Pikachu is cute, and you like the world. But, Mike, for this, How many points do you think you're going to add to your score because of how cute Sonic is?
Well, I just think Sonic's the main character, and I thought he was just funny.
Did you?
I dug Sonic. Yeah, he was cute. He was adorable. It works. It
I
works.
didn't think he
Sonic
was that.
works.
I think young Sonic was cute, but I didn't think that 18-year-old or whatever, how old he was supposed to be, Sonic was that cute.
You pervert.
He was
Schwartz's voice.
when he was running in the washing machine and he was fluffy at one point and all those things. Oh, it was all cute. I like their relationship.
I was going to get to this later. I feel so bad for James Marsden. So bad. Because I think he's a great actor and I really like him. But he is forced to deliver some of the most brutal lines and brutal product placements ever put to film.
There are some brutal lines.
I guess this is spoilers, but whatever. The Olive Garden and Zillow product placement in this are some of the most egregious things I've ever seen.
The Olive Garden joke never hit.
When you're here, your family. Oh my god. And so, but when his wife goes, "Hey, I found this spot on Zillow," turn to the laptop to camera, show it for 5 seconds. It's just, ugh. I guess you got to pay for the not the reshoots, but the reanimation somehow.
Wait, okay.
I kind of laughed at the Zillow thing though. Zillow.
The Zillow thing wasn't a joke though.
It wasn't a joke.
It was, I have found some interesting places in San Francisco on Zillow. Turn to camera. It wasn't even a hand-fisted Wayne's World product placement. It was just a pure product placement. It wasn't a joke.
It was so strange. But yeah, I felt terrible for James Marsden because he needs to be genuine and serious the entire movie, and he has nothing to work with. Ben Schwartz as the voice. Liam, you touched on it earlier. I think when he was just riffing, nothing was landing. Because I think he was ad-libbing a decent amount, and it never hit for me.
Ben Schwartz, I think, is one of the funniest people in the world. Do you listen to Comedy Bang Bang at all?
I have, but not consistently.
He's an unbelievably funny improviser. I love his voice. He is the pound for pound funniest character in Parks and Rec. John Ralphio's every single scene is hilarious.
Yeah.
But first off, so he starts off with a voiceover, but then it's still everything sounds like a voiceover. It never sounds like it's coming from actual Sonic. I think maybe just because it started as a voiceover, but I was never in my head maybe it also has to do because I'm familiar with his voice, but never in my head was I Sonic is talking. I'm somewhere in a recording booth, John Ralphio is saying these things into a microphone, and they're being played over.
Also, let's not forget, this movie literally starts off with the record scratch. You're probably wondering how I got here. It literally starts like that.
It does.
It's so lazy, dude. It does not need to do that at all. Just start him when he's a baby. Also, the Mushroom Kingdom. Okay, we'll score it and get to spoilers. Mike, I'm so interested to see where you go with this.
If this is above a 6, I'm throwing my laptop out.
It is.
Right, throw your laptop out. I think it was fine. I think it served its purpose. It made me smile enough. It made me chuckle enough. Were the jokes corny? Yes. But I was entertained for an hour and 45 minutes, and that's all this movie's supposed to do. I'll give it a 6.3 thumbs up. Would I watch it again? Probably not if I'm being realistic, but...
Mike, your appetite for mediocre movies is so, fluctuates. I think it just depends whether it's a superhero movie or not. If Sonic were replaced with The Flash, you would have given this a 3.2.
Yeah, so this goes back to my question. How many points do you think you're adding because Sonic is cute?
Well, I don't think that's a fair question. I think... Well, because the whole this movie only works if you like Sonic,
True.
And Sonic's cuteness is core to that to liking Sonic.
I think we should have said this before, but what is your guys' history with Sonic in video games? How much have you played?
I own the first two. Me and Mike, I think, have beat the first two together, or at least got very far in both of them. But Mike's a way bigger fan than I am.
Yeah, I love Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was one of my favorite video games of all time. My brother was really into those games, so I played them all the time growing up. It was one of my first video games I remember playing is Sonic 2, might be the first. So I've always liked Sonic. I was excited for this movie just because I think it'd be fun to see him on screen. And is it reinventing the wheel? No. Is it a very generic plot? Yeah. Is a lot of the humor corny? Yeah, but it still works. It still works enough. I'm not saying this is God's gift to cinema, but I just think I had a fun time with it.
Liam?
I mean, I feel like I haven't given a low score on any movie we've done. I don't see movies that I don't like. This is the first movie that I've sought out in a long time that I didn't like. Because I just see good movies. I'm gonna give this like a 3. Like I had 2 out loud laughs, and then the rest, I think, also just because of it got off to such a bad note, being like, here's Sonic, and we saw it. James Marsden was in another one of these movies called Hop. And you seen Hop?
I've never seen it.
There's fucking Yogi Bear. There's the Woodpecker movie. There's all these things. The Mario Brothers movie does it. The fucking, I feel like Mortal Kombat might do it. I don't know, but just like, why are people
Smurfs, I think Smurfs do it.
Smurfs
right?
does it. Why are people so fucking afraid to make a movie about what a movie is about? Like, this movie didn't have to be Sonic. Again, like, you're right, Keegan. Like, this could have just been about any superpowered little fucking thing. Like, it didn't matter. And yeah, I'm gonna give this a 3. I say a 3.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
That's a fair take.
I'll add 0.5 for Jim Carrey. But yeah, no, it's not good. I won't watch it again. I can't recommend it to anyone. Even if you're a Sonic fan, I think you can probably just skip it. If there's any left out there besides Mike.
I'm a Sonic fan. Sonic Adventure 2, that game on the GameCube I played.
Is that the one with the skateboarding down San Francisco?
Escape from the city.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
that
a great
soundtrack
song.
slaps, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's one Sonic soundtrack that slaps.
It slaps. I mean, the Sonic 1, 2, and 3 soundtrack slap. Sonic 3, fun fact, made by Michael Jackson, but he refused to put his name on it.
Which one?
Sonic 3. He did the soundtrack.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. I think Sonic Adventures 2 is one good level that people love, but it's the first level, and that's why people hold it in such high regard. Don't at me, though.
There's the Chow Garden. I like the Chow Garden a lot. There's like good multiplayer in it. I mostly did the multiplayer.
Old games are pretty bad, for the most part.
True.
Okay, spoilers, I guess.
Well, I think the original Sonic games still hold up. The original Mario Brothers games.
I mean, yeah, platformers, especially ones that like define the genre, are still good.
Yeah. I think the SNES era holds up better than anything from like N64.
Oh yeah, dude, N64 games are bad, minus like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Mario 64. Yeah. But go back and play a Sonic game, you are not encouraged to go fast.
No,
if you, like,
there's spikes waiting around any corner.
Yeah, like if you actually truly go fast, you're fucked.
It's like speed's almost a hindrance.
Yeah.
It's almost like, can you please slow down?
Yeah. Especially in Sonic 1.
Green Hill Zone. Green Hill Zone, you can fly.
Well, in Sonic 1, especially, you get screwed more often. But in Sonic 2, they did put in, like, the tubes that, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they figured out, like, that's what they should be capitalizing on. But yeah, in Sonic 1, there's spikes everywhere.
Yeah. Sonic 1's hard.
Yes,
really
it is.
hard.
It is.
Sonic 2's more of a joyride.
Yeah. Okay, back to the movie. Spoilers.
That breastfeeding joke was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
What was the breastfeeding joke?
He says, like, Jim Carrey says, I was spitting out formulas when you were still, spitting up formula. And then James Marsden said, actually, I was breastfed. And then Jim Carrey just goes, nice. And then he says, no. But he says, like, nice. Rubbing in my face that I'm an orphan. He should have just said nice.
Yeah, that was good. Also, when he's, like, just, like, skiing in his cart, I loved it. I loved it. It was just him being uncontrollable for 2 minutes, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The Mushroom Kingdom joke was like a good one-off, but then they do it like 7 more times.
Yeah, was it supposed? They didn't even say the Mushroom Kingdom though. They just had this dumb mushroom world,
mushroom planet or whatever. Yeah,
I guess that was. So it wasn't even. So he was an alien. It wasn't even like an interdimensional thing. They said like far side of the universe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Why introduce an owl that raised him?
I know.
There are so many fucking Sonic characters. Most of them are dog shit, but there's so many Sonic characters. Why just a photorealistic owl?
You know what else this does?
Yeah, I don't. Is that character ever referenced in like a comic?
No.
Are we sure about that? That was so weird.
It's so strange. You know what else this movie does that Liam touched on of not living in the world of the game? It also does the, like, Marvel thing where, like, in Marvel movies, they don't get their suit until, like, the end credits. They don't make Dr. Robotnik look like Dr. Robotnik until the second post-credit scene. Just make him look like that the entire time. I don't understand. I don't understand that.
So afraid to be weird. The game is weird. And like the fact that
Pisses
the
me off.
post-credit scene is like, oh, it's fucking Tails, because in my head I'm like, Tails should just be in the movie. He's such
Miles
an
Prowers is the damn man. Yeah.
he's such an integral part of what of Sonic at this point. Like
Yeah.
him and Knuckles are again, I don't want fucking cute hints to the game. Like I want to see the fucking game.
In the original Sonic, there's no Tails, there's no Knuckles, so I think that's maybe what they were going for in theory. Plus, they also want to build a franchise here.
But I mean, he's in this second game, and then Knuckles
Yeah.
is in those games came like a year apart.
Yeah.
Like he's been in it just as like almost as long
28
as Sonic.
years ago, Sonic 2.
Yeah,
And Tails is so cute.
I know.
Would have loved to see him.
You know what scene actually kind of hit for me was Sonic playing baseball with himself.
Oh, I love that scene.
Yeah, like
Great scene.
his loneliness was actually like pretty well done there.
His loneliness
Yeah.
is killing me.
And they fleshed that out. There was like 45 minutes of fleshing out Sonic's loneliness. I feel like it gave good background.
I know, it was so contrived though to get him. Also, them watching Speed like all the time was insane. But him like having to say goodbye to the back of James Marsden's head before he opens a portal to leave, and then happens to read San Francisco because of course you wear the shirt of where you're moving to in 2 days to get the ring to open there. It's just like so much little shit. It's such a kids movie. It's such a fucking kids movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I like the scene where he froze time. That was fun.
Dude, no.
Oh no!
Oh
Fuck
my
that.
God.
Okay.
Just the worst version of the Quicksilver scene that every single fucking movie has done.
I was gonna bring this up in a different context, but one of the worst scenes is easily the motorcycle bar scene that's in this for some reason.
Yeah.
But it's especially bad because, well, Mike, you've never seen an X-Men movie, so this one is brand new for you. But this slow motion scene was done 7 years ago in Days of Future Past, and it's never been done better since. And it's just straight up copied from that movie.
Yeah, ridiculous. And like another thing is like his speed is so, I guess whatever, it's a kids movie, but like in the beginning he's shown to go at full speed 300 miles an hour, and then he's going fast enough to the point where like no one is even moving. He's going fast enough to the point where like he is in like you can't even like that's like how fast does he go?
Oh yeah. They use his speed in ridiculous ways. He runs to the Pacific and back in like half a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he also says, I can run across the island in 2 seconds. But we're watching you, Sonic. And you're...
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That pissed me off. I guess you can just brush this all aside and say it's a kid's movie, but still...
This is a kid's movie. I mean, this isn't Paddington.
I know, Paddington and Pixar movies exist, though. So, like,
yeah.
you can be a kid's movie and be good.
6.3?
What'd you say?
Would I give this a 6.3? I mean, I'm not saying this is...
I know, but this isn't directed at you. This is directed at people making kids movies. They can still be really high quality. Like, you don't have to, like, dumb it down completely.
Yeah, it was definitely a lazy script. It was definitely... They might have wrote this script in 4 days.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
Or there's, like, 27 writers on it.
I hope they did, I should say.
And also, the point of this movie is kind of just like, don't leave your hometown.
It is.
We haven't even seen, like, everything we saw with James Marsden and Green Hills is that it sucks. And then Skonik is like, no, I've been stalking you. And like, what did I say?
Said Skonik.
Skonik, whatever. And then Sonic is like, no.
He wears plaid shorts and has a chain wallet.
It's like, I've been stalking you, and it seems like you shouldn't leave there to go to a different city. It's like, why? Like, there's no...
There's something romantic about that idea, though, because I think a lot of movies are like, leave your hometown, go to the big city, and this is the opposite. So, I mean, I guess there's something kind of nice about that, but you also painted this town as just so shitty. And
yeah.
And literally, James Marsden is stopping traffic for turtles to pass.
Yeah.
Also, his dream is to like stop a serial killer. It's just so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
It's just like so weird.
I want someone to look at me and say, this is life and death.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Psycho. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, Got a weird
Also-
hero complex.
What did you think about the chemistry between Mr. and Mrs. Marsden?
I mean, they're not together all that much, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. It was so weird. I didn't like how they had the sister just like hate James Marsden for the sake of hating her.
Literally.
After they established that James Marsden worked 3 jobs to put her through vet school.
And is like just the greatest person on earth.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he's-
but she
and
wants
he's
to, like-
handsome as hell.
Yeah. She wants to like hang and quarter him.
Yeah. It just seemed like a weird, like sassy black woman trope that I didn't
Yeah.
like. You know, like why do you have to have? I understand that you need conflict, but like
Yeah. Oh, you know what else was a really bad video game nod? Was the little daughter running around the kitchen saying, "Gotta go fast."
did she even? I don't even remember saying.
Yeah. Also, thank God her shoes perfectly fit Sonic. I'm just nitpicking
Yeah,
at this
she
point.
is.
That was a cute scene.
Sonic was smaller than her. He must have big feet.
You know what they say?
I think we saw we saw Sonic naked. I don't think you need to speculate.
That's true. Micro penis.
But the thing with Sonic too, I watched.
Could be a girl.
You know those? You guys know those YouTube videos that got really big recently, like the video effects breakdown.
Yeah.
No.
And like they talk about
Maybe.
Sonic, he's too blue. He is so out of place. Maybe that gives him like an alien feel, but like he is bluer than every other blue on screen, and it feels really weird when I look at it. Like it's so obvious that like he should be more saturated. Like the light does not reflect off him naturally at all, and he's way too bright.
I think that the Pokemon, the way that they shot those characters was a million times better.
Yes.
I also
No.
shot it on film, so I heard the guy who's in charge of the visual effects for Pokemon said the reason why Pokemon looks so much better than Sonic was because they shot on film. He said he wouldn't do the movie unless it was shot on film.
I think he's an Academy Award winner.
I think he is. I mean, Pokemon looks awesome. I think Keegan would even have to agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like
And I mean, this doesn't.
on a story standpoint, I think that's where Pokemon failed. But in terms of craftsmanship, it's super well done, and I just cannot say the same for this at all.
Also, what hurts is that you shoehorn Sonic into the real world, where Detective Pikachu is its own world, you know. So
Yeah.
Yes, that's such like I said, such a fundamental mistake that I can't like. Is there like, who makes these fucking choices? Do they need to get people who have actually played video games? I think these are just made by people who have been sitting in boardrooms their whole. I don't know. Like, just get somebody who played a Sonic game one fucking time to be like, hey, how about we actually make it a Sonic game and not just like.
It's people in an executive position that get the rights to it and see the player base, the units sold, and go, oh, this will make money at the box office. Let's make a movie, and they don't put any other thought into it.
And it did. It outgrows Detective Pikachu, I think.
Yeah, I think it did really well.
Maybe not worldwide because of Japan, but I think like, in the U.S. it outgrows Detective Pikachu, which is a tragedy. Detective Pikachu is the Citizen Kane of our time.
I can't disagree with that.
I'm sure if this is fresher in my mind, I'd have way more to talk about, but it's been 2 months and I'm already forgetting shit. So anything else to add from you guys that have seen it more recently?
Not really.
Give me 1 sec. I'm going to the Wikipedia page.
And the guy behind Detective Pikachu was behind Gladiator.
Why did Sonic's
Logan.
hair have the power? Why is it's in his quill? Does he have hair or does he have quills? Because at one point it puffs out like an afro, but other times it's like quills.
Another
Yeah,
inconsistency of his
Well, yeah,
design.
I mean, there's inconsistencies left and right, but it's also a kid's movie. Everything's played for laughs, right? Nothing's really taken too seriously.
Everything's played for laugh, but nothing delivers.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I get those takes.
God.
I don't mean to attack you, Mike. I'm just being a bitch.
There was a very specific thing. I was
For the
lying
record, you brought up Marvel movies. I believe I gave like Spider-Man Far From Home like a 5 point something. Not a huge difference.
Yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home makes this film look like dog. Like, it already is bad. I meant to say it the other way around. This film makes Spider-Man Far From Home look like The Godfather. Like, the fact that you think, like, do you think Spider-Man Far From Home is a worse film than Sonic the fucking Hedgehog?
And I was so bored during Spider-Man Far From Home. Just wanted to take a nap.
You
know why, though? Because I've seen Spider-Man on screen like 12 times now. Never saw Sonic on screen. This was the 12th Sonic movie? Oh my god, I'd hate it.
Yeah, there's a
I think that was
novelty
the
of
big
seeing
difference.
something new. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I didn't love Far From Home either, but I think it's at the minimum better made than this.
Oh, it's probably better made. It's a Marvel movie. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Liam, did you find the thing you wanted to talk about?
No, there was a specific joke that literally made me roll over in bed and stop looking at the screen because I didn't like it that much. But then something made me laugh out loud that I can't remember. It wasn't the breastfeeding joke. No.
What was I gonna add? I had something to add. Oh, we should debate The Greatest Showman again, Liam. Kidding.
Do you have any newfound respect for it?
Oh, I think we're good here. I have nothing to add. But there will probably be a second one, and Miles
sure.
Prower will be in it, so I'm excited for that.
I mean, where do they go from here? I hope that
Turn the lights down now. Smile from ear to ear. Your breathing has got too loud. So when this ends, Sonic is still in Montana, right?
Yeah, he's living with Marsden.
Okay, so that's right. They give him his room and everything. So Miles is coming to Earth. That is like, you gotta hope that
to find Sonic. So
right.
Maybe he's gonna bring him back and save the Green Hill Zone.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you gotta hope it's very quickly in the first act he comes to get Sonic, and then they go elsewhere. Does that mean you cut James Marsden out? Sure.
No, I think stuff comes to Earth to find them again. I bet it's like another like CGI. It'll be like a more cartoony villain, but they will come to Earth. I think it would probably be too expensive to like go to Sonic World for like the whole time.
I mean, yeah, it would.
So like I think
but if it takes place mostly on Earth, I'm not going to see it. If it takes place in Sonic's world, I'm way more inclined to go.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if they'll see it that way.
Price, like Liam said, though, this movie cost between $81 and $95 million, and that was with redoing the visual effects. Where Detective Pikachu cost $150 million.
I was going to say, yeah, 150 is probably minimum how much it would cost.
But this movie made a lot of money, so maybe they're willing to spend 150. Maybe that was the game plan. We'll shoot a cheap one on Earth, and then we're going to go into the world.
Hopefully.
One could hope.
Yeah.
Would you guys have rather have this just be animated then and just take place there?
Yes, but I feel like if it were animated, it would be done by like Illumination and be dog shit. I would want it to be done by at least DreamWorks. Disney wouldn't do it. I don't think Disney would do this type of thing, but I think like a DreamWorks or like maybe Universal Pictures would do it justice.
So that would be your ideal thing. DreamWorks take place over there, animated over the CGI.
Yeah.
What would the rating be? R?
Yeah, I want to see him murder Dr. Robotnik. I mean, if something going 300 miles per hour hits you in the face, your head's going to explode.
Oh, that ending, just being on like a small town street.
We need the darker, grittier Sonic.
Pauly. Nick, what's his name?
Adam
Pauly. I really like Adam Pauly. He's really bad in this movie.
He's so bad. They couldn't get Billy Eichner.
Yes. It's
Which one's Adam Pauly?
He's the bad cop. And by bad, I mean not good at his job cop.
Oh, yeah. Those jokes really never worked, did they?
No. He was... You could completely remove him from the movie.
And there was no arc there. How does that character end? Nothing, right?
Yeah. It's not good. Okay. I'm done with Sonic. You guys say your final thoughts if you have any.
It might be the greatest movie of all time.
Dog shit film, flawed from the beginning. I hope they don't make it. They're going to make a sequel, please. I mean, why would they change it though? I was gonna say learn from their mistakes, but like they didn't make a mistake, so like because it made money. So, dog shit film. Down with Sonic and anyone who likes it.
Ooh,
Liam, this or Black Klansman?
That's tough. Putting in that perspective, Sonic, I'll give it an 8.5.
I want to watch that movie again. Because I loved it, and then forgot everything about it. And then I saw the Oscars, I was like, oh no, this movie's really, really fucking good.
Yeah, it should have been my top 10.
Yeah, it's
what are you going to do?
Good-ass movie. Okay. You guys been watching anything else during this quarantine?
I watched the first 3 episodes of that Dev Patel show. What's it called?
Modern Love?
With Jim Carney, John Carney created, the same person who directed Sing Street. Begin Again, Once is behind it. Saw the first 3 episodes, liked it a lot. So I'll probably finish that up here shortly.
So you have seen Dev Patel, Catherine Hahn, Tina Fey, and
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
I've been I mean, is that really all you've been watching, Mike?
Well,
have you
we
not
did an
watched any-
episode last week.
Oh yeah. But so I've been watching a fuck ton of stuff. I watched Taxi Driver for the first time yesterday in honor of my getting a mohawk.
Oh, you kind of look like what's his name?
Travis Bickle.
Travis Bickle. I was gonna say Trevor
That's
Bickle. Yeah, Travis.
That's
Bickle.
who I thought you were talking. I thought when you said Travis Barker earlier, I thought that you were misremembering Travis Bickle. But that was really good. Honestly, I mean, like it's an old movie, but it's kind of slow. It takes a while for him to go crazy.
Very slow, and I really like that movie a lot. Me and Mike saw it at Gateway together on film, 35 millimeter. But I hate the repetition of that jazz song. Drove me absolutely insane.
It's one of those films also that once I've seen it, I finally like so many parodies that I've seen it click in my head. Like I'm like, oh, that's what Family Guy references every fourth episode.
I think for me, Liam, is that the first time you saw that movie?
Yeah.
For me, I walked out of that movie kind of like, I think my hopes were set too high and it's kind of like a little bit of a letdown. But I've seen the movie like twice since because it's always on AMC. It's always on one of those channels. IFC? Maybe IFC. I've seen it twice since, and every time I've seen it, I've liked it more and more. I feel like that's a movie that's better over multiple viewing.
Yeah. I think you notice more. I liked it.
I mean, not to say he isn't crazy from the jump. Spoilers like for this 40-year-old movie.
50?
Like when he takes her to the
44, 1976.
when he takes her to the like the porn theater, like
Oh yeah.
you know he's kind of off his rocker. He's kind of off like from the jump. It's not really. I guess it's kind of a descent, but he's never like a sane normal person.
No. I think I think it was supposed to like be a commentary, I guess, on like Vietnam War veterans because I don't know. But
Just
also
captures how dirty New York is.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, dude, 70s New York is disgusting. How do people live there? Ugh.
the stuff with Jodie Foster also made me really uncomfortable. I guess that was probably the point. But like her pimp talking about her, I'm just like, this is not a thing that I want to see or hear.
Definitely the point. Definitely hard to watch.
Yeah.
Definitely hot. I'm kidding.
I'm sorry, what was that, John Ankley? You're gonna kill who? Ronald Reagan? But also I watched the first 2 seasons of Fargo. One of Keegan's recommendations.
Finally, someone took a wreck from me.
So fucking good. Here's an issue I have with Fargo. Spoiler alert, kind of. Because they're only 1 season each. God, look how fucking ugly Mike is. Because they're only 1 season, and like there's so much bloodshed that like the deaths mean nothing to me by the end of like season 2. You know what I mean? Like there's one dramatic death when the guy's daughter gets killed in the woods. That like was really sad, but besides that, I'm just like I don't like when I think back like The Sopranos and Breaking Bad, which is not a fair comparison, but like how much those deaths impacted me, and then there's just so much fucking bloodshed that like it loses its impact by.
Yeah, but I mean I think that comes from the movie as well, of just like over the top kills and whatnot. Do you have a preference of 1 or 2?
I think I liked the characters in 1 more. I think I liked Billy Bob and Bilbo a little bit more. But I really liked Kirsten Dunst and
Jesse Plemons.
Plemons.
I think I prefer those 2 and Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Willis is a linebacker for the
Patrick Wilson.
So Patrick
Retired too young.
Yeah, so season 2, I like the protagonist more, but it's hard to top Billy Bob from season 1.
Yeah, I feel like I can't remember his name. His name was like Mike Mulligan in the show. I don't know his guy, but he's very good. But he's also kind of like he's kind of just like the same as Billy Bob. He's just like a very cold and calculating killer.
Mm-hmm. Have you started season 3 yet?
No, I was gonna give it a break. It's not something that I would want to like jump right into after watching.
Let me know when you do it, because I need to finish it, and I'll probably just restart from the beginning.
Here's my take. Ready for this take?
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton is the most underutilized actor in Hollywood.
Wow.
You wanna hear a response to that? He was like snubbed for Sling Blade, and like the Oscars have been out to get him ever since. So he's been getting screwed for a really like 40 years. So
well, I guess he got snubbed and then he never directed a movie again because he was so upset, right?
Yeah.
Love Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, me too.
I've also been on like a tear of like reading musician biographies. So I had Amazon Prime like 1 month trial, and then I bought like 6 books the weeks that it was ending. So I read. I'm currently in the middle of this Freddie Mercury biography, and then I read. Let's see. Big ass Bob Dylan one. One about the last days of the Beatles. One about the Velvet Underground, and a Jim Croce one actually that
Mike.
I think you would really like, Mike. It's fucking heartbreaking because it's written by his widow, and it paints him in like not the best light, like, and I don't know. It was very good, and I have a Lou Reed biography left to go.
I've been listening to Perfect Day by Lou Reed a lot lately.
So you've been doing a lot of heroin?
A lot of heroin.
Oh man.
Is it I Got a Name, Liam?
Yes.
The book?
By Ingrid Croce. Yeah. Is it Croce? I never know.
Croce?
Croce?
I heard it pronounced both.
Yeah. It's 100% worth a read. The funny, like, oh my god, every single fucking musician biography. I've liked all the books that I've read, but they start exactly the same. The first chapter is like describing them like either like towards the end of the life or their peak. So like the Bohemian Rhapsody one is like Freddie Mercury fucking stepped on stage at Live Aid, and then chapter 2 is like Freddie Mercury was born in Zanzibar. I'm like, I don't need an introduction, dude. I bought the book. Just get into it. I know who this is about. But yeah, I also, let's see, Community just got put on Netflix, so I've been rewatching old episodes of Community. I watched all of Arrested Development, which I hadn't watched since like 2012, and I rewatched the first 3 seasons in a matter of like a week.
It's the most rewatchable show ever made.
I think it is the funniest show I've ever, like
yeah.
Every single line of dialogue is hilarious.
Every frame is hilarious, dude. There's so much shit in the background too.
Yeah, and every single thing is a punchline. Like it's either a setup or a punchline. I don't think there's a funnier like cast in any ensemble.
And like, they were like pretty all unknown at the time.
Yeah, besides like the older people, besides like Tambor and Lucille.
Yeah.
But literally every single character, even like I don't know, like Jason Bateman is like the straight man, is still absolutely hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
just constantly misunderstanding what each other are saying. It's so funny.
You know what I watched? I watched the series finale of Modern Family.
So did
really?
I.
You guys?
Yeah.
I used to love Modern Family. I mean, obviously I fell off. Was it emotional?
No, it wasn't very good.
See, I love Modern Family too, and I probably stopped watching around season 4.
Me too.
3. But I love those characters, and like you can nothing's obviously really changed over the last 8 seasons since I stopped watching. But I was like, oh, they're just gonna go out with like a bang, just like a normal Modern Family episode, and then 15 minutes in, everyone's leaving and going to different states and stuff like that. It's like, all right, you're gonna get a generic sitcom series finale. It's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's hard to wrap up those shows.
I'm happy you brought that up because. Yeah, I haven't watched. I'm similar to you. I watched the first 4, maybe 5 seasons, and then stopped watching it. But I watched the finale and was very underwhelmed. The documentary they played either before or after was very good. But the end episode itself didn't really deliver. Like I didn't cry or anything. Like wasn't very emotional. But Schitt's Creek also ended this week, which my parents and I have been like binge watching them. I've missed a lot, but they watched every episode. I was bawling at the end of that series. Really? Like, yeah, that show was, 1, hilarious, and 2, delivered so well in its series finale. It went 6 seasons, so not as long as Modern Family, but absolutely knocked it out of the park with its last episode.
That's the dude with the eyebrows, right?
Yeah, Eugene Levy and his son Daniel. Very good. Netflix? It's on Netflix, the first 5 seasons, and then on demand if you have cable.
Illegal stream. Yeah.
Or illegal stream. I've also been watching Devs on Hulu from Alex Garland, who you may know as the writer and director of Annihilation and Ex Machina. Yeah. I don't love it. I don't love it. But the finale, I think, is either tonight or tomorrow. So I'm going to finish it. There's some really interesting stuff. Nick Offerman as a serious character is always weird to me, but he's good. Uh-huh. But I really like the main actress. She's in Ex Machina, Crazy Rich Asians, and Maniac. But she has to do an American accent in this, and I just don't think she's very good at it. And I think she's kind of a weak part of the show. And also, the show relies a lot on old men beating up very young men, which is weird and not realistic. But yeah, the show has a lot of interesting twists and it has some interesting concepts. But I don't love it the way I loved his last two movies.
Is it adapted or is it all from the mind of Alex Garland?
I believe it's all from the mind of the man himself.
Yeah, looks that way. Yep.
I also watched. How long ago was that we talked about Undone, Keegan? Did I watch that like three months ago?
I watched Undone. Yeah, maybe probably. It was this year. Maybe was it? Yeah, it was this year. Probably 2 months ago. No, 3 months ago. Yeah, that sounds
3 months ago.
way better.
For some reason, it felt way more recent than that. Well, I thought it was. That's another thing that I.
Time doesn't
I guess
mean
fairly
anything
recent.
anymore.
Yeah, or in the show.
Sick.
That's a great tie-in. Let's drink that.
Very cool.
But yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes of Crashing, Pete Holmes' show.
I've heard that's
HBO.
awesome.
I love his podcast and his stand-up. He is like a stand-up unlike really anyone else because he's just such a fucking goofball. And he's hilarious. And I like the first 2 episodes of that. But the thing is, there's another show called Crashing that Phoebe Waller-Bridges like directed and is in. And so the site that I use to stream, not necessarily legally, every time I go to watch episode 3, it's episode 3 of the other Crashing. And same with episode 3 through 8. And it's so goddamn frustrating. So I haven't seen episode. Yeah, my life is hard.
Damn. That
Wait,
sucks, dude.
Isn't HBO Go like free right now or something?
A lot of their shows, like Veep, is free for everyone, which I think I'm going to start with my mom soon here. I've been meaning to watch Veep forever.
Are you fucking kidding? HBO Go is only supported in the U.S. I'm gonna fucking
try HBO Now.
HBO Now?
Yeah.
Right now?
Right booking now.
Play
One other show I've been watching is a Spanish show called Money Heist on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's
I've
called
heard about this.
La Casa de Papel in Spanish,
Papel.
but in the
La
U.S.
Casa
it's called
de
Money
Papel.
Heist to avoid confusion with House of Cards, because it means House of Paper in Spanish.
I might in Spanish. I know, thanks.
Hell yeah, dude. I guess it's like bigger than Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad in Europe. I guess it's like a huge deal, but it just never caught on here, probably because it's in Spanish. It's just a heist show, and it's really hard to fuck up the heist genre. It's really, really good. I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I saw my friend watching, like one of my roommates was watching it, and I saw on his computer that it said like just Money Heist, and I'm like, this looks like, just the name of it sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's a bad name.
Remember that dog shit Eddie Murphy movie from like 7 years ago, Tower Heist?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like a bad comedy from like the early 2010s.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it couldn't use its actual name because Money Heist, is terrible, but the show is very good.
And is it in Spain or is it in Latin America?
It's in Spain, dude. My only issue with it is that because it's like Spanish, the S's are THs, and that bothers me so much. Barcelona? Yeah, it pisses me off.
Why don't they just say it normal?
I don't know.
You know?
It's
they hear everybody else talk like they talk.
God.
Why don't they just speak English? First of all, if they're gonna be on my TV, they better learn English.
You can have it dubbed, but I hate when the voices don't match. So I'd rather just read it.
Dubbed.
Oh yeah, I watched the first episode of some German show called Dark.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's really good.
And I watched the first episode, and I was just like, I don't really care. I didn't watch it after that. But like the dubbing was like, it wasn't that bad, but it's like when it's just, I would rather it be way off than like a little bit off. You know, like when it's not that noticeable, it becomes way more. It's like the Uncanny Valley.
My roommate Evan I think we watched all of it and really liked it.
Your roommate in LA?
No, in college.
Oh, I know it.
Oh yeah, that's all I've been watching, I believe. A lot of TV lately, not many movies. Anything else from you guys before we sign off?
Have you guys been rewatching any old sporting events?
Yes, I've been watching a lot of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I watched Game 7 of the NBA Finals yesterday. It was on ABC. Watching some Masters final rounds this week. Doing whatever I can to stay sane here.
Yeah, I watched the couple Masters. I think the coolest thing I've seen, I enjoyed watching Tigers round again yesterday, but I think the coolest thing I've seen, I watched the Greg Oden, Mike Conley versus Joakim Noah. That Gators team. That 06 National Championship.
Yeah.
I watched that. That was fun.
Heartbreaking.
What was that on?
They'll
Was that-
lose. It was on last Saturday, I think, at like 3 o'clock. My dad saw it on TV and called me down. And I watched
What
it.
channel? Like the Big Ten Network?
No, it was CBS. CBS.
Oh wow.
CBS the last 2 weekends were showing like March Madness.
Yeah,
final games.
I watched Duke Butler the other week.
It was the game before that, Keegan.
Oh okay. Man, I wish that shot went in so bad. Would have been awesome.
That was fucking great, man. Greg Oden was so good. As much of a bust as Greg Oden was, it was just because of injuries. He would have balled in the NBA.
He was bullying Al Horford and Joakim Noah in the paint, and those two guys went on to have like really good NBA careers. I mean,
Al Horford's still playing. Yeah,
he's still good. I mean, they couldn't. Those guys couldn't guard him 1-on-1. He was just knocking him over.
You know what? I might cut all of this, but you know what's crazy to me? Well, my favorite player, and I think one of the best players on that Florida team was Corey Brewer, but he didn't do much in the NBA either. But he fucking balled at Florida.
I think he lasted like 6 to 7 seasons.
Yeah, I think it was
an NBA career, but it seemed like he was gonna be way better because you watch that game, you're like, he's probably the best player on.
Yeah, he was a freak. Who did they beat in the second year? Also, Ohio State lost to Florida in football that year too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
and Urban Meyer and Jim Tressel were both watching that game.
Wow.
Corey Brewer's last year in the NBA was last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He played for the Kings in 2019.
Well, that's why I never heard anything about him. It's the fucking Sacramento Kings. There are 4 teams in California. Jesus. Who did Florida beat the next year?
No, the first year they won. That was year 2. They beat.
Yeah.
Oh, who was the first year?
I couldn't tell you.
Kansas?
LSU. I like Kansas. That's a good guess.
It's a better guess than LSU, but why do I want to say LSU?
Because it's SEC.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think LSU beat Duke that year. That's why I'm thinking.
UCLA. It was LSU.
Was it Kevin Love and Westbrook?
No, Kevin Love, I feel like was too young for that.
Yeah, I think.
All right, we should sign off here and then continue our.
Did LSU make the Final Four? LSU made the Final Four that year. So
with Big Baby?
Yeah, with Big Baby.
It was the George Mason year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm signing off. Thanks everyone for listening. Follow us at movie_rebrew, me at Cash Money Keegan, Liam at Starvin Garven. Subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We'd appreciate it. I'm not sure when we'll do another ReBrew episode, but Rewind for Rush. Check it out. It's a really good movie that you should watch and then listen to that episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
So you know who was on that UCLA team?
Sometime you exploded, drop a few lines. When I catch you through the static, Irish goodbye, what a classic. Perennial girl in love once a year. When it comes, she disappears. Maybe she'll stay.